Once humans develop artificial intelligence, it would take off on its own.
There is no place in heaven for you.
Kaniyan Pungundranar in 3000 years back in Tamil classic Purananur. He says, Yadum Ure, Yavarum Keli.
முதல் தமிழ் தான் இன்றைக்கு 4வது தமிழாக நம்மால் கருதப்படுகிற அறிவியல் தமிழ்.
How did you train your postgraduates? What was the techniques which you used and how you made them better as good teachers? So what were the modules, the techniques, the methods by which you sharpened them? Can you please share with us?
Yeah.
How to make
definitely.
basic question.
I think my major contribution was only there. As a physiologist, my major contribution was in the PG program on Danikiranathan. என்னுடைய பிஜி ப்ரோக்ராமை எப்போதுமே நினைச்சுப்பேன். ஒரு கைடன்ஸ் இல்லாத நானே ஏதோ தெரிஞ்சும் தெரியாம படிச்சு வெளியில வந்தேன். I thought it should not happen to all the other PGs who joined the department. So first thing I did was I made every PG accountable on what they do every day. They needed to give a log. See, all this is very common now. It's a routine now. It was not there those days. ஒரு கிளாஸ் எடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாக்க the PG has to sit with the senior professor, give an outlay of what she's going to take or he's going to take, starting from how to introduce, what are the problems that she needs to give, what is the homework that she would give, and what are the questions that she needed to ask to stimulate or trigger the students. So all that had to be discussed before she would go and take a class. Not like me who just went. What we said was right or wrong, only God knows. So அப்போ ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஸர் போய் உட்காருவாங்க அந்த கிளாஸ்ல and she will give a feedback, immediate feedback as soon as she finished, and the students' feedback would come. So by the end of 1 to 1.5 years, they were pretty good and confident in how they took a class. The other thing that we did was, before even thinking about a project, a dissertation project, they would have to go through a research methodology workshop. It was a routine that happened after that. After that, they would choose their topic, present it before the department. We would invite the professors of physiology from the other colleges to listen to the presentation, because one thing is there should not be an overlap between the topics from the other, physiology from the other colleges. Plus, it had to be publishable. No dissertation having spent 1 to 1.5 years can go a waste. It has to be published. So they would present it, there'd be proper review. And before they appeared for the examination, the paper was ready for publication. And as soon as they passed out, we made it sure that they submitted their papers for publication. So, to my knowledge, all the papers by the postgraduates were published not in ordinary journals, good journals. That's what's the other thing that happened. And they had to go through seminars, research, the journal clubs, discussions with the senior professors. Every day of the week, the PGs were busy doing something or the other. Either, presenting a paper in the seminar or in a journal club or a discussion with the senior professor. So no time to sit and chat and idle your time. No time at all. So they were completely occupied the whole day. But mind you, the students enjoyed all that. They didn't come there to, while away that time. They wanted to equip themselves as much as possible before they passed out. And therefore, they enjoyed, presenting a seminar, asking questions, getting prepared before they came for a discussion. And as I told you, they were all wonderful students. And so this was also another routine. And as I told you, because I had already gone through this medical education workshop, course, I was able to equip all my postgraduates in the different methods of teaching learning process and evaluation process. So they were all very well equipped. And even before any college, any department, where any other basic science department or a clinical department implemented any of these methods, the Stanley MMC were the first ones to, start off an OSPI, horizontal integration, vertical integration. Yella was a routine, and all that was conducted by the PGs. So well those children were equipped, those postgraduates were equipped, and the undergraduates really were very happy going through, because it became more interesting. Instead of just listening to a class in the lecture, as you know, we have been taught that any lecture, a student's attention will be hardly for 20 minutes. After that, what you say goes above the head. And his memory by the end of the class will be hardly 15%. That's all will be the memory, unless you keep recalling. So all that is rules of education, rules of teaching. Okay. So the PGs enjoyed, and they became very good teachers. And let me tell you now, all my PGs are HODs everywhere. Some of them have retired as directors also. And they are making a major difference in their department. So that is how they were trained. The other thing, as I told you, that they had to participate in the seminars which were conducted by the clinical departments. So, they would talk on the physiological aspects, especially when the PGs are giving the seminar. They would go and participate there, and we would invite their PGs also to talk to us. So much so that, students, the PGs from the medical department, cardiology department, medical gastroenterology department, surgical gastroenterology department used to come to us, to our department, in getting some of the clarifications in the physiological aspects of, some of the problems that they face. So, அந்த அளவுக்கு என்னுடைய PG அங்க போய் ஒரு இம்பாக்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்கன்னு அர்த்தம் அப்படிதான் இல்லையா? When they thought that, they were trained so well that they could come to us. இல்லைன்னா அவங்க head was somewhere high. Where would they come to my department and ask for, some doubts? So that was one thing that happened. The other thing that happened was getting samples, clinical samples for their project was not easy. You had to depend on their PG, on their HOD. For my PGs, it was, getting very difficult. So I said, okay, we'll do combined projects. We said, okay, we'll choose a clinical topic with the coordination between the clinical professors and with our professors. We'll choose the sample from your department. You will work on some aspects. I will work on some aspects. So the sample is the same. So they would very much get the sample for us. So we had wonderful samples, large number of samples. Where is the dearth of sample in a government institution? The sample size was just not 30, 50 the sample size. 100, 150 were the sample size, what my PGs worked on. And, like, for example, psychiatry department used to come to my department to do their sleep studies. We had to get a special permission to keep my department open in the night. With one of my attenders, I must mention his name, Jayaraman. Every night he will come and sit there. He will be there in the department. Night, காலையில சாயங்காலம் 6 மணில இருந்து காலையில 6 மணி மட்டும் உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருப்பான். அந்த PG work பண்ற PG department உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருப்பான். Our assistant professor used to sit there through the night. Of course, they used to get an off the next day. These were all the local arrangements that were made. But அவங்க நம்மளோட சேர்ந்து ரிசர்ச் பண்ணதுனால things became much easier. So they were able to publish, but, and the reporting of the functions irukke, adu namba senjom, naanga senjom, department of physiologists senjom. Adanala they had to put our name too. So some of the papers that were published in their journals had our names there. So that was the other thing. That is my postgraduate's name, not my name. My postgraduate's name there, because she worked with that person. So that is what the PGs enjoyed. And of course, they were so good in reporting. I said they had to go to the pulmonology department, the cardiology department, get their reports. After all, we should realize we are authorities in the normal functioning of any system in the body. If we do not know what is the normal function, who else will know? If it is not normal, how is it difficult for a physiologist to put your finger there and say, that air is the abnormality? And what is the reason for that abnormality? We are very much trained to do that, isn't it? So my PGs were all wonderfully equipped to do that because they would go through that as a routine. So, and of course, the intercollegiate quiz that they were trained to conduct, now it has become a routine now. The APT, the Association of Physiologists of Tamil Nadu, அவங்க வந்து இப்போ routine conduct பண்றாங்க as a gala event. But the first ones to conduct an intercollegiate quiz was MMC and then Stanley. இப்போ வந்து நம்பர் ஒன் காலேஜஸ் இல்ல, வெளியில இருந்து மற்ற ஸ்டேட்ல இருந்து வராங்க, பிஜிஸ்க்கு வேற கண்டக்ட் பண்றாங்க. இட் ஹஸ் பிகம் அ ரொட்டீன். செமினார்ஸ், CMEs have all become very routine now. But I think our time, we would take the credit to initiate all this. And I think that would be my contribution to the PGs those time. And of course, they were so smart. They were all able to grasp everything and they were able to do a very good job. Thank you.